happy spring, everybody. I am Paul Chartier, and you are watching Heart of Gold. We have some international visitor on the taping now. Xiao Min, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. And Betty Cutts from Helping Blessing
Blessing
Hands from Moorhead, Kentucky.
Yes.
You're based in Kentucky.
Yes.
But the impact you have
is in China,
thousands of miles away. How did this happen?
Well, Sister Cities of Moorhead had a summer camp, and I was teaching in the summer camp. And
how many years ago?
8 years ago now, 2005. And the teachers, they told me their students couldn't afford to go to school. At that time, primary students had to pay tuition. Now it's all different, but at that time there were kids who couldn't go to school because they didn't have tuition. And so I asked them to give me the names of the students in their class who could not pay tuition, and I got 213 names. And so I came back to Moorhead, which is a sister city with Yangshuo, China, where I was teaching, and we began to raise money for those kids to go to school.
How much does it cost to send a child to school in China?
Well, right now the government pays the tuition, but for high school, the tuition can be about $180 a whole year. And what we do now is we sponsor high school students for tuition, and then we sponsor middle school students for books and food, and primary students we do for school supplies and things that they need, shoes, backpacks. And then for college students we give them $650, which is pretty well enough for a tuition for a year for a teacher, not a doctor, but a
Very
teacher.
Nice. And Xiao Min,
Yes.
you are from China.
Yes.
And how long have you been in America?
4 years for now.
And what brought you to America?
In 2010, when I first came to America, I was a visiting scholar to Moorhead State University and applied for a program sponsored by government to help teachers to get education abroad. So the city where I'm from, Yangshuo, is the sister city of Moorhead. So that's why, I came to Moorhead, and I studied 1 year at Moorhead State University. And that's a turning point in my life. I got to know many local friends and help them and involved in a lot of local activities besides doing research and observing class. And at the end of my program, I decided to come back because I just fell in love with Moorhead and with the people here. And I came back in 2011 to pursue my master's degree in Moorhead State University. So it took me 2 years to get my degree in higher and adult education. And then I got a job provided by Moorhead State University to teach Chinese. So right now I'm teaching Chinese in Moorhead State University. I love teaching, and I love my local friends and love helping the charity and help people there in China, which we are helping the people from my area. That's so amazing.
Isn't that just fantastic that you're doing this?
She was very surprised when she found a charity in Moorhead helping people in her area.
Yes, it was amazing.
I can tell you love this, don't you?
I love it. I just cannot say how much I love, to do things with Betty, and, because we have a lot of story, just touch my heart and touch even my family and a lot of people around me.
Yes, she has 2 sisters in China who have begun to help us.
Yeah.
And that's such a pleasure to see your sisters begin to do charity work in China.
Yeah, and my friends in China too. So here in America, so many friends are helping people there in my country. And I'm happy to see in the recent years, and there are more people there trying to help people there too. So that's a very, very good, things.
It's like we have taught the idea of charity, and people are catching on, and now they are wanting to do it themselves. We have one Chinese board member who gets up at 3:30 in the morning to come to our afternoon board meeting. And I just am so pleased that the idea of blessings means fu in Chinese, and that is fortunate. You see that fu symbol for Chinese New Year in the restaurants, and they understand blessing hands. And what we teach the children is become a blessing hand. And that has spread to visiting scholars who come to Moorhead State University, to students who come. They go back to China, they help us.
Yes.
They translate. They are meeting us at the airport. They're going out and finding children that need our help.
Betty, do you have any idea how many children you've affected in
Over
China?
1,000. I've counted it up. Somebody asked me that. And now it's 1,300 because that was last year.
Have you ever met and heard from the kids that you've affected?
Oh, yes.
How does that happen?
Well, when we make sure that the college students have a dinner each year where they come in and they report on their volunteer work. I go to China each year, and they come in and we hear their stories. How are you doing? And they have to report at the end of each semester their grades, their volunteer work, and they're learning to be thankful and to be blessing hands. And then we also hear from the high school students who have email, and we match them with sponsors, so the sponsors write to them. We have a good time.
So little Xiaomin comes over to Moorhead as a
Visiting scholar.
little Chinese girl that had maybe never been to America,
No.
lands in not a big city, but in Moorhead, Kentucky, and greatness has happened.
It is great. It is just a great story, you know, because when I began to apply for the program to, you know, study abroad, you know, I could end up in any other country, like, you know, England or any other country or any other place in America, not necessary to be Moorhead. Sometimes I feel like God brought me here, you know, because when I came to Moorhead, I feel like, oh, this is the place where I want to be. You know what? I actually come from a big city, a modern city in China. It's somewhat like the size of Chicago, and the population is 6 million. So this is a modern and big cities. So I don't want to go to any big cities. I want to go to a small town, and where people, you know, are nice and friendly. It is really like that, you know, and relaxing.
Xiaomin, do you know what a halo is? A halo is a round thing over angels. And Betty has a halo. The great things that you've done are like life-changing to 1,000.
Well, people in China think I'm a movie star, but I tell them it's God's hand that is the blessing hand, and we're just the glove. Now, that's pretty hard to say in China, but I can get away with that because I'm a foreigner and I'm giving out money. But they are being introduced to the idea of charity, of giving, of loving.
You're affecting education, but you talked
Yes.
before about wheelchairs. What other
yes.
ways are you affecting
Well,
people
through
in
the
China?
Wheelchair Foundation, which gives out wheelchairs all over the world, we're partnering with them and the China Disabled People's Bureau to give 100 wheelchairs in Duan, China, which is a Yao minority area. Now, we did this in 2006 in Yangshuo, and it's very rewarding to see people get wheelchairs. And they only cost $90 in China.
Before you give them a wheelchair, what do they do?
Well, some of them come in, you know, sort of not having, they have to have help to get in.
People carry them around?
Yeah. And we see them, the kind of wheelchair we gave in Yangshuo, it was a tricycle. And we saw this guy heading home on his tricycle, which was really a bicycle for him, doing with his hands.
Yeah.
So he's able to go. He's able to make a living. He's able to travel. Never before.
So the halo affects education, wheelchairs, and
And
you talked
water
before
purify.
water. Talk about the water.
Well, what I want to talk about is Mr. Gao. Now, Mr. Gao has a construction company in Kunming, and he doesn't trust the charities in China because they just don't. And so, but he had a board member, one of our board members he grew up with. And so my board member is saying, come help us, come help us. What do you want? And so he tried it, and he came over to Guizhou, which is another very poor province, and he put in 3 water purifiers. We brought the purifiers. He supplied the piping and brought his men. And there was a group who came from East Oldham Middle School near Louisville, and they were a team, and they taught Mr. Gao how to put in water purifiers. Well, at the end of 4 days, he said, I have never been so tired and I have never been so happy. And now he's found 3 more schools, and we're taking him water purifiers, and he's doing this himself.
The greatness continues, and for people in the last few minutes to find out more about Blessing Hands, what's
Yes.
your website and what's a phone number? How do they find out about you?
It's blessing-hands.org.
Okay.
Or you can do blessinghands.org.
Okay.
The phone number 606-207-4785.
Okay.
And we have a blog, Blessing Hands, blogspot.com. And we're on Facebook, Blessing Hands.
We are too.
Yes,
And
yes.
we'll share it with you.
Okay.
Xiaomin, that this would be your life.
No,
What,
definitely no.
What do you think your life would have been?
You know, if I didn't apply to come to America, I would just stay there, you know, continue my life teaching English. When I was in China, I was a college teacher, teaching English as a second language. Just teach and have family life like that. But I would never thought about my life would become like this.
So you're a teenager in China, and something in your brain says, I'm going to apply for this program. Had you not,
She looks like a teenager, but she was a teacher,
had
a
you
mature
not,
teacher.
had you not thought about that, you would not be here right now.
No, I would not. I just, you know, to a point to my career, I have been teaching for 14 years in China. You know, to a point I would like to improve myself. And as an English teacher, I would like to go to foreign country and to just learn more about the local culture and customs and things like that. So then I can be a better teacher. That's my thinking when I would apply for the program to come to America. But after I came here, a lot of things happened in my life. Like I met people like Betty, you know, she's my godmother. We study Bible, we go to churches and make a lot of local friends. And they just touch my heart and change me so much. You know, here I'm in America and these people are helping my people in my area in China. Isn't it amazing? You know, on the other side of the world. And when I began to volunteer my work with her, now like translate the email and translate some documents and talk to people and try to help. And you know, there's so many things later from the kids that just touches my heart. They can only write some simple sentences, the elementary kids. And I still remember one girl, she wrote, I don't feel lonely. You know, I know there's someone out there that cares about me. So that just made me cry.
What is amazing, as we wrap up, what is amazing, well, both of you are crying. What is amazing, kids are kids and people are people.
Yes.
You want to give, you want to give. We have little kids in China that feel the same way about their heart and loneliness, same way in America. You're both doing great things. Thank you for being on.
Oh, thank you.
The greatness continues.
Yeah,
Thank you.
our pleasure. Yeah, we enjoy doing things and
Xiaomin,
help
Betty,
people.
thank you. Thank you. I'm Paul Chartier. We'll be right back on Heart of Gold.